When the Exxon Valdez oil spill hit Kodiak, Exxon did not want to clean it up, so they subcontracted the cleanup to Vico. Vico needed workers, so they started hiring citizens of Kodiak, and people who needed money had to work for Vico. Some people didn't get contracts and some did. At first, people came together to clean up, but with the different payments and contracts, people were divided in the community. In addition to people getting different contracts, in the decades after the spill, some people would get thousands of dollars more than others in lawsuit, and some got little or nothing, all of which was public record, which further divided the community.
Many people went to work for Exxon. I decided to work for them. I felt that I was going to go bankrupt if I didn't.
Either get a contract to do cleanup work with the movement, or go far away and do fishing in another region.
The guy that was working, he came out and he just looked at me, that was going to take my money, I thought, and he just looked at me, he said, "Vico?" And I said, "Uh-huh." And he says, "Okay, you're good to go." And I drove away with a full tank of gas that Vico paid for, and we didn't even have a contract. So people kind of took advantage of the money that was getting thrown around for contracts. You would have gotten a contract with Vico because Exxon, Exxon is a company within itself. So they subcontracted it out to a company called Vico to take care of cleaning up the oil. So you had to go to a Vico office and kind of see what they needed as far as boats on the water that would be contracted to perform some kind of a job. Depending on what you did would determine how much money you get paid.
Exxon adjusted everything and said, okay, we're going to give everybody a chance on a contract. Okay.
So with regards to contracts, you kind of had to be a mover and a shaker. You had to be in the right place at the right time and have something to offer as far as a boat that could do something. And there was lots of different jobs that those boats could do. Kind of schmoozing somebody who could offer you a contract, like, hey, give me a contract instead of this other guy.
If there's a bribery, it was more or less who you knew and how you could milk it and how you could smooth or schmooze with people in order to make that happen.
There was a term in town, spillionaire, people that actually worked on the oil spill. Either they got a contract for their boat or whatever. They made a lot of money that summer.
I noticed that it really was a contentious period of time because people were paid per bag, and that there were some unethical individuals who were stuffing bags with clean seaweed.
They might have made more money that summer than they would have if we would have had a salmon season.
The fishermen who had been screaming bloody murder, and the louder they screamed, of course, they knew they would get more money from Exxon. Exxon would try to shut them up. "Oh, be quiet, be quiet. We don't want to listen to you. Here, take more money. Here, we'll hire you. You go out in your boat every day and you pick up dead CRs and you pick up dead birds. And we'll give you special dip nets, you can pick them up." And some of these fishermen got paid a lot of money.
You really had to scramble to get a contract. You had to negotiate the pathway to where those contracts were.
So fishermen particularly were scrambling to get contracts with the cleanup crews so that they could at least operate for that year.
It's upset a lot of people that they got a zero next to their name, or that they saw somebody on the list that got some money more than they did.
So the fact that some people were making money and some people weren't had a very divisive effect on the community.
Person would get $50,000. Let's say they didn't file a Crawford claim, or they didn't file an Alyeska claim, okay? They also had $100,000 as total value of their claim, but they didn't receive only that, and they only got $25,000, okay? My neighbor's getting more money than I do, he's never ever fished. Or someone's got zero and saying, I have a valid claim, why am I getting zero?
But now, all these years later, when we think about the spill, I think a lot of us think about how it affected the community.